At the state capitol in Harrisburg, today's state budget deadline has passed without a deal in place. However, both sides are expressing confidence that one will be reached soon. Fox 43's James Corrigan joining us now with the latest on where talks stand in Harrisburg.
Well, Evan, the clock has ticked down to another state budget deadline day without a budget. As talks continue between Senate Republicans, House Democrats, and Governor Josh Shapiro, both sides today laid out their priorities for Pennsylvania's fiscal future and laid into each other over the timeline for a deal.
Raise the wage! Raise the wage!
Among the priorities for Democratic leaders in the House and Senate is raising the minimum wage, which has not been done in Pennsylvania for 20 years.
They feed our people, but they don't have a livable wage. They provide child care services, but they don't have a livable wage.
Republican leaders in the House and Senate remain focused on the overall spending number, which they hope to keep below Governor Shapiro's proposed number of $53.3 billion.
Obviously, the numbers are still a concern given what the governor had proposed back in February, but I do think that good faith negotiations are underway, and I'm very optimistic.
Both sides have indicated that talks are significantly progressing despite the missed deadline, hoping to avoid the 135-day deadlock preceding the passing of last year's budget.
I don't think there's any appetite in any of the caucuses or the administration that's going to have us here for a prolonged period of time. We know what harm that causes to organizations and nonprofits and school districts and the like, and we don't want to get on that path.
House and Senate Democrats had hoped to finish this week, criticizing Senate Majority Leader Joe Pittman for recessing the Senate until next week to wrap up the deal then.
We cannot hurt our school districts, our counties, our most vulnerable, by continuing habitually putting up with a Senate that does not work and does not come to work.
Pittman expressed confidence that the deal will be done by the end of next week and says that only the final details need to be hammered out.
There will be discomfort at all levels, but we will meet in the middle. We will conclude this process, I believe, in the next several days with a responsible product.
Now, despite the state Senate adjourning for the week, the state House still has its voting session tomorrow, though Thursday's has now been canceled. Even with the disagreement today over the timing of the budget, both sides are saying the right things about a deal in the near future, but it's what they say and do inside Governor Shapiro's office when they negotiate that will determine when we have a budget and when communities across the Commonwealth will get the funds they need. Evan?
Well, the overtime clock certainly is ticking. We'll keep an eye on it. Fox 43's James Corrigan. James, thank you very much.